Hey guys, welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. I'm Jake, and today we're going to tackle this bush that's growing into my little barn back here. Ever since we moved into the house a couple weeks ago, this thing has just been getting fuller and fuller, greener and greener, and more of an eyesore. And it's become more and more apparent that it's just really overtaking the little barn here, and it's loaded with vines and stuff. So I figured as I was driving the tractor down to the trail to continue working on building the wood yard, which we are going to be working on today, I figured I might as well just stop. I got the chipper hooked up. We might as well take care of it right now because it's really an eyesore when you first pull into the driveway here. So I'm gonna chop up, put on my ear protection, my Pit Viper eye protection. We're gonna fire up the tractor and we're gonna get rid of this thing. Okay guys, so that's a little bit better. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a pretty gloomy day. But it is warm out. It's like, I think in the low 70s, and I am just drenched in sweat. That was more work than I thought. Those vines were really tangled in there. That main bush that I took down was a bush, I don't know that it's invasive. I think it's native to the area, but it's called winged euonymus. Now there's really nice types of euonymus vines like Manhattan euonymus and other types that flower and they're beautiful and you can, you know, grow them on your chimney, whatever have you. Winged euonymus, not so much. Pretty nasty. As with most things, I got a little carried away. Was chopping down all the little stuff that was like, you know, 1/4 of an inch, and then the light bulb went off. I remembered I have a brush hog. Probably back in there and mow all that stuff down. However, I did leave the stump a little bit high, so again, I can go in with the grapple and try and wrestle it out. So now we're gonna load up all the gear, hop on the tractor, and head back down the new little trail that we made the other day, and hopefully start clearing out, you know, the opening to where we're actually gonna be doing the work in the wood yard. There's a lot of rocks and stuff, so we might have to be moving some of that with the grapple. A lot of little saplings we're going to be shooting through the WoodMaxx chipper. So let's go. Okay guys, so you just saw the little drive on in that I filmed off the top of the roll cage on the tractor. It's pretty smooth already. I'm really surprised at how smooth it is. There weren't very many rocks. I just got to get rid of some of those little
tree stumps that made it a little bit rough, but you can see all the piles of chips that we did. And some people were commenting that I might be kind of close to my neighbor. So there's their house. You can see all of this woods. This is all actually my property. My property kind of juts out that way a bit. But yeah, this is all our property. I'm leaving all those trees here. And mind you, this is just a road to get back to where the work is going to be done. All of the work is going to be done back here. So by the time that we're all the way back here, we'll be, you know, a couple hundred yards away from the house. One viewer suggested that I back the tractor in. That way I don't have to kind of like maneuver through the saplings and stuff to then get in front of the saplings to then chip them. So great idea. You can see I backed the chipper in and we're just gonna start cutting. I think I'm gonna start cutting, you know, with this leaner here, a bunch of these little guys, some of these. I don't wanna get too far ahead of myself and have, you know, a bunch of pickup sticks where it makes it hard to get to, you know, certain ones. But we're just gonna do little chunks at a time and see how far we get today. I mean, you guys kind of know the drill. Unfortunately, it's going to be pretty similar to the last video. If I've picked up any new viewers since my last video, I think it was number 97, we are building a new firewood yard. And this area here is going to be where it's going to be. We're going to leave, you know, these big trees, but all these small saplings and stuff are going to come out of here. I'm hoping the majority of these rocks and stuff that are sticking up are remnants of old New England stone walls, which I believe they are, considering there's one right there. So we're going to try and move some of those out of the way. I was actually watching one of GP Outdoors videos this morning, and he was saying how you should really plan out where you're going to put debris and rocks and sticks and stuff like that. That way you don't have to move it twice. So he gave me a great idea of what to do with the rocks, and he was just picking up all the rocks with his grapple and building a new stone wall. So I'll probably at some point choose where I want kind of like the boundary to be. It'll probably be somewhere back there, like where those really big rocks are, just because I won't be able to move those. And yeah, hope for the best, put all the rocks out of the way, only have to move them once. But today we are chipping up saplings. Okay guys, so we just got that first bit chipped up. You can see it's already a lot more kind of open just in this immediate proximity. Got a bunch of little stumps right there, a bunch of little ones back here, one bigger one right there. I'm leaving them a little bit taller today because I want to see if it'll help the tractor give it a little bit more leverage to yank them out. We'll see on that later. Then I was just going around picking up some of the big sticks and stuff that were on the ground. And I saw all of this black birch debris in one area. And then I saw this black birch tree here. And I looked up, and I don't know if you could tell, but the top of it has broken out. There's only like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches on it coming out towards me this way. So this tree is probably seen its day. It's underneath these 2 pretty big oaks anyway. So I'm gonna drop this guy down. I should be able to fit pretty much the whole thing through the chipper. Maybe not like the root flare, but I'm not gonna cut it down that low anyway, because when the guy comes with the excavator, it'll be easier for him to rip out the stumps. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this guy. Well, I said I was gonna chip up the whole thing. I'm not. I think this is gonna be the first tree out of all the ones back here on the property. I'm gonna save these logs for firewood. They're nice and straight, barely any branches. So I'm just gonna chip the top. I'm gonna save these 3 for our first firewood to split here on the property. All right, guys. As you can see right there, I did not see that front rock, and luckily it hit the little guard here on the front of the tractor, so we did no damage to the tie rods or anything. For those of you that are going to comment, they look like they're bent. They're supposed to be bent. So yeah, I just picked up that rock with the Wicked Grapple. I threw these first couple firewood logs behind their stump, that way they wouldn't roll down or anything. And I moved the rock to what's left of this really old farm wall. These things are just littered throughout Connecticut and the rest of New England. We're kind of known for them, and you can see why. There are just rocks everywhere. I feel bad for the farmers that farmed all this land way back when and had to move these things with horses and oxen and by hand, you know. God bless them. And thank God for their counterparts that invented machines like tractors and Wicked Grapples. Now I can kind of go in 3 different directions right now. The sun is starting to go down and it's pretty gloomy out, so it's getting kind of dark. I could continue cutting down to make, you know, this area a little bit more open. I could continue to move rocks like I did with this one. I just wanted to see if the tractor could do it the other day, and I kind of just rolled it out of its hole. I doubt it'll pick it up. I would be extremely surprised if it could pick it up. But the other direction I could go in, and I think that's what I'm probably gonna do, is I had mentioned that I wanted to make another access road to get up to the back of the property where I've been keeping the tractor. I think if I can zoom in, you can just see the top of the Shelter Logic. It's right, like, oh, where's my finger? It's like right there. That's the back of it. So if I had a nice little path, at least, to drive the tractor up and back, I wouldn't have to drive up and around. Oh, I'm still zoomed in. Sorry, guys. I wouldn't have to drive around the front each and every time. Now, I haven't given this much thought as of right now, but I've kind of looked, and there seem to be 2 good potential spots. One being like right here. It's pretty flat on the pitch of the hill going side to side. It's just like a straight uphill. The other being a trail that, now this other one actually might have been like a little road or something at some point, because if you guys remember, there was a barn back there. The other being kind of this area. But I think there's a lot more little saplings and this bigger log to kind of get out of the way, and then I would have to circumvent that big log pile. So I think for now, at least, we're gonna go with option number 1 and see how that works. Hopefully I can just zap down a couple of these saplings, get them chipped up, and we can park the tractor for the night. Yeah, this one doesn't seem too bad, but yeah, let's see how this goes. Well, guys, we officially have rough cut in, and when I say rough, I mean rough, but we have rough cut in the semicircle, half moon, U-shape, whatever you want to call it, road connecting the backyard to the front gravel pullout at the bottom of the driveway. I now have full access to go around this large hill, and I know the camera really doesn't do it justice, but I'd say from where I'm standing right now, and I'm 6 foot tall, the bottom of the infeed table on the chipper appears to be about equal with my head. So, and then that's not even the top of the hill. So let me grab the tripod here and show you what we just did in that little time lapse. I cut down as many trees as I thought was necessary to get the tractor with any implement or like a small trailer or something down here. I'll probably take more, you know, maybe like this larger maple right here at some point, but I'm trying to avoid taking down the bigger trees right now. I'm just trying to take down the ones that are absolutely necessary because, like I mentioned, I haven't really figured out how I'm gonna lay out this whole area. And I don't want to bind myself up and be having to like move logs that I want to save for firewood multiple times just to be able to, you know, get around and keep building this thing. So that's why I'm going after the smallest ones, picking the points of least resistance, rough cutting in a trail, and then from there we will keep going. But yeah, this rock is gonna have to move. Doesn't look like it's all that big. Should be able to pick it up no problem. We're gonna have to chip up this pile of brush at some point. And yeah, we're pretty much at the top of the hill here. And you can see the shelter logic over there. So looking back down, that's where all the action's gonna happen.
So guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. This is part 2 of what I imagine to be many of building the new wood yard. I did say in the last video I'm gonna make a playlist. Now that I have 2 videos correlating to that topic, I will make said playlist. If you're just new to the channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button and go back and watch video number 97 and even 96 if you want to see more of an overview of the new property that we're at here in southwestern Connecticut. Sarah and I just bought a house. It's on roughly like 3.5 acres. We got a little barn, we got all the equipment over here, most of it at least. I got a new little puppy, Louie, so we're having a blast these past like 2.5, maybe 3 weeks now. And finally we've started making the new wood yard. So if you're new, welcome. To all my old viewers, thank you so much for all your feedback and support. The comments of the last video were great. I had a lot of good feedback as to, you know, steps I should be taking down the road, and even right now, some of which I put to use today, like backing up down the trail. So yeah, that's it. Now that we got the road, the access road in, it'll make it a lot easier to get in and out with the tractor. We can start ripping out some of those stumps. We can start clearing some of the, you know, debris and you know, leaves and stuff. Maybe even hook up that new brush hog and see what we can do about mowing, you know, some of the smaller saplings. I know some of these saplings that I was cutting today, I probably could have just mowed over, but to be honest, I'm an arborist, so I feel a lot more comfortable cutting them down and chipping them with the chainsaw than I do running over with a brush hog that I've only used once for about like 20 minutes, a couple of videos back. But yeah, that's it. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Any questions, comment, feedback on how I should lay this whole area out, please put them in the comment section below. I'm Jake, this is Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks for watching, we'll see you here next time.